Hola y buenos días otra vez. Bienvenidos de nuevo a la clase de español. Today, I just want to kind of take you through how to get to all of your things that you need to be successful for today's lessons or this week's lessons. The first of all, I would like to mention that when you get ready to do your assignments for Spanish class, I know some of you, I think, have gone just straight over to the to-do list and you've just started working from there. I think I've got it now where I've locked it. So you actually do have to work through your modules. So make sure that whenever you get to Spanish class and you get ready to work, always go to modules. Then you will see the sequence of things that will be done. I have locked each of these sequences just so that you can make sure that you're moving in the correct order and you're not moving too quickly without getting the basic information that you need. So for today's lesson, I want to go through the presentation with you just briefly. I'll need you to go back through the presentation on your own so that you can successfully complete each of the activities. The first thing that I want to look at is on the second slide. It goes through and it gives you the unit goals. I'll let you read through those in a little bit, but eventually it tells you to look at page 56 and preview what our final outcome is going to be for Unit 1. In order to get to your book, again, just a reminder, so I don't get a lot of people on emails, go back to your canvas and remember that Wayside, the wonderful owl, intelligent owl, he's the one that's going to get you to Wayside. First of all, it's going to take you through Clever. Remember, when you get to Clever, you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you should have practiced this last week. It was one of your assignments. Scroll all the way down to the Wayside Publishing owl. It's going through Clever to connect you to the book. Once you get to the book, it's said to examine page 56 to see what our final goal is going to be. And the internet's very slow today. So on page 56, and remember to jump to a page, it's this part right there. After we're done with Unit 1, this is what you're going to be able to do. Think about your I can statements. This is the final I can statement of Unit 1. So make sure that you read through all of that to know where are we going with this, with the vocab that we're learning, with the grammar that we're learning. Your final assessment will be this presentation. Notice your final assessment does not say, oh, can you conjugate AR, ER, and IR verbs in the present tense? Or, hey, can you tell me the difference between SARE and a star? This textbook, brand new method of teaching and learning is going to be what can you do? Not necessarily what do you know as far as grammar goes. So this type of new method is going to be hopefully much easier for you to obtain actual language skills that you can use right off the bat, rather than just going through and conjugating verbs. The next thing that I want to look at, after you get done reading through your unit goals and examining those, you'll have some essential questions that I want you to actually think about because you'll be using those later. There will be a preview that kind of tells you how this unit is set up or how the entire book is set up. And then you're going to go to an encuentro cultural. You're going to be listening to David from Ecuador tell you about his life in a video. You're going to be answering questions about the video, and you're going to be reading a paragraph about David. So incorporating a lot of different Spanish going into your ears and going into your eyeballs, into your brains, just practicing. The way that you're going to get to this, the first thing that you're going to do is read about David on page 4. So again, we're going to go back to our textbook, page 4, and there's David. So you're first of all going to read this paragraph. The second thing you're going to do then is you're going to have to watch his video. You can get to this two different ways. You can click on this compass here and go through it, but I'm just going to go through. I've already put it in assignments. So I just want to work through assignments right now. I don't want to give you too many things. The very first one I've got is Encuentro Intercultural, and this is with subtitles. What you're going to do is you're going to click on that, And if you notice, there are going to be two videos of David. Both of them, they're the same. But if you notice at the heading, this one says subtitles. The frame that is bigger is the one with the subtitles. The smaller frame is the exact same video, but without subtitles. You can choose either one. After you've listened to David's video, you're going to go back up to assignments again. And then you're going to click on the extensión to Encuentro Intercultural. This extensión is going to be questions about David from what he's said, what he's been talking about in his video blog. Now, yours is going to look a little bit different than mine because this is a teacher's edition. So you'll go ahead and click on, I'm assuming attempt. I'm not sure what it is because we don't have access to the students edition. But then you'll answer the questions about David. And when you're done, if you go back and look at the presentation, that's the last thing there. It does say do not do any other assignments that you see there, and that's yet. If you notice, I have listed 5 assignments. You're only doing these 2. The bottom 3 are for the next part or the next presentation this week. It is extremely important that you do these after the presentation that it corresponds with. Don't go through and just try to complete 5 activities. Sometimes it's not going to be very beneficial because you'll just be guessing. All right, so going back to our presentation, you'll notice that was the end of it. So the next thing that you're going to do is I'm going to go back to my course module. So I'm doing the introduction now. You have a copy of the presentation that I just showed you. The next thing you're going to do is your preguntas esenciales. For this one, these are going to be in discussion format. And I've posed the 3 unit goal questions to you, or the 3 essential questions that we saw in your presentation. I want you to respond to all 3 of these questions and submit. You will not be able to see anyone else's responses until you submit. After you do submit your responses to these 3 questions, I then want you to go through and find one other response that a student has posted, and I want you to create a comment to that, an appropriate relative comment. If I see comments that are not appropriate or irrelevant, you and I will be meeting individually. After you've completed that task, then you'll just go back to the module, perhaps. There we go. And if you noticed, Semana 2, Día 1, Semana 2, Día 1, and this one also goes with that. So then that is the end of your first presentation for the week.